下面呢是我们的专家对话环节，接下来让我们有请韩光宇先生、中关村股权协会会长王少杰先生、厦门国际金融技术有限公司董事长曹彤先生、科威特金融银行总裁马金阿尔纳赫德先生、科威特商业银行海外业务部副首席执行官阿布杜拉·哈姆·阿拉瓦迪。AAA 金融集团 Fredos 阿热夫先生，共同进行一次以中阿经济合作主题的中外双方会谈。有请各位。好，让我们再次有请韩光宇先生、中关村股权协会会长王少杰先生、厦门国际金融技术有限公司董事长曹彤先生、科威特金融银行总裁马金阿尔纳赫德先生、科威特商业银行海外业务部副首席执行官阿布杜拉·哈姆·阿拉瓦迪先生、AAA 金融集团 Fredos 阿热夫艾哈迈德先生共同进行一次以中阿经济合作为主题的中外双方会谈。有请。
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Your Highness, Your Excellencies, Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, and dear our industry stakeholders from financial industry. And my name is Mr. Han, and I'm very proud to be the moderator today. Welcome for this panel discussion. And I would like to introduce our panelists today, Ms. Sahar from Commercial Bank of Kuwait, and also Mr. Cao from Hande Fintech Holding is leading. We are very impressed about the presentation just now. And Mr. Mazin, who is Group CEO of Kuwait Financial House, one of the leading industry stakeholders of global Islamic finance industry. And Mr. Wang Shaojie, who is the chairman of Zhongguancun VC, a private equity investment and venture capital association, who represent a very large investors from China, and Mr. Firdaus from AAA Finance, one of the leading financial institutions from Bangladesh, who are very active in terms of capital market. And ladies and gentlemen, because of the time, we would like to commence the panel discussion about how do we explore the practical business investment opportunities from China and Belt and Road Initiatives economies. Because I think today we have the only lady here, so if agreed by the older gentleman. So firstly, we would like to invite Ms. Sahar to share your experience in terms of digital bank, digital transformation, in terms why Commercial Bank of Kuwait, why your organization is relevant to the Belt and Road Initiatives, and what is your insight and practical experience in terms of this digital transformation. Thank you.
First of all, it's my pleasure today to join you here at the IFC 2019, and also I would like to allow me to thank the Chinese government and also the executive representatives of the government of Kuwait, headed by the ambassador of Kuwait in China, to join here and arrange this event and choose Kuwait as the guest of honor. Thank you very much. Going back to my bank, Commercial Bank of Kuwait, At-Tijari, this is the one of the largest financial institutions in Kuwait with a very strong corporate and retail banking franchise. I cannot compare myself to my Islamic partner, which is Kuwait Finance House, but still Commercial Bank of Kuwait, which was established in 1960. It is the second oldest bank in Kuwait, and it goes back to, in history, going from retail banking to a strong mega project finance bank. The bank has established itself with mobilized its capital base substantially, and has a decade of expertise in project finance. And with the collaboration of with China as a country and the Chinese companies, the bank is proud to say that we have extensive relationship with the Chinese companies and also the Chinese banks in terms of correspondent and banking relationships. With regards to the digitization and the new era in the banking sector, the bank also has evolved itself, self-developed itself in the digitization market, in introducing a couple of solutions to the customers that can accommodate their needs and requests. This is what.
Okay, thanks very much for your brief. And the next question I would like to pass to Mr. Cao. Thanks very much. Very impressed about your presentation, about your profound sharing about digital bank experience, because you're the former CEO of the first digital bank. So, and right now, in terms of this blockchain era, and you propose consortium blockchain to connect all the financial institutions to bring down the cost and efficiency. So I would like to comment on this regard in terms of digital bank. What is the investment opportunities for the investors from Kuwait, from other countries? Thank you, Mr. Zhou.
Yes, thank you. So the digital bank in China performed very well in the last 3 to 5 years. Generally, we can see all these kind of bank, they acquire new customers through the internet channels and analyze the risk by the big data technology and AI. And in the recent 1 and 2 years, some of banks are associated by the blockchain technology. We call it the permissional technology. It's not a public one. Yeah. So also have some internal token issued around the association partners, but not can use be outside this circle. But we already can say this kind of new technology shaped the bank very deeply. If compare a traditional bank and a digital bank, we can say there's no argue who will lead the future. Must be the digital one. And if you see from the global side, we can see the Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia also already issued the digital bank license. And maybe as well as the Kuwait, I think, yeah. So this kind of trend expand globally. So if we see the investment opportunity from my side, I think two is very the two big. The one is in the mainland China, because the digital bank already performed very maturity. And another one, maybe a new idea I share with you here. If we can set up a blockchain network globally, connect each digital bank, this blockchain network will be very, very valuable. In the future, a big bank expand its network globally. need almost 30 or 40 years. In China, we can see the ICBC, the Bank of China, or the construction bank. They spend almost 30 years to set up the global network in 40 to 40 countries. But today, if we use the blockchain technology, we can set up this chain very quickly, 2 years or 3 years. And every bank join in this network will be the equal partner. There's no big one. Everyone are very, very equal. So this kind of platform should be very, very valuable. So these two sides, one is the opportunity in the China mainland, the banking transformation from traditional to the digital. Another opportunity is in the near future must be a blockchain, a permissioned blockchain in the future linked the digital banks. So that's my insight to share you. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Zhou. Actually, I don't quite agree with you in terms of your conclusion about permission blockchain, but we can talk about this one later. So I would like to give an opportunity to Mr. Mazin, who is a group CEO of Creative Financial House. And I know that Creative Financial House is very active globally, has various operations in Europe, Middle East. So what is your experience of digital banking, and what are the challenges you are facing? Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. I'll share my experience with what we have been doing as far as Kuwait Finance House within the various jurisdictions that you just alluded to. For example, in Kuwait, we do not have any digital banking regulation set up as of yet, but we are working on it with the Central Bank of Kuwait in order to get regulations in place so we can understand how can we set up a digital bank. That said, we are digitizing our operations, so it's not necessarily a digital bank. It is digitizing our operations to become more in line with what digital should be. So it's more efficient, costless, easier for the customer, and makes perfect sense. But if we move to other jurisdictions, for example, our operation in Turkey or our operation in Bahrain, we have slight differences there. But if I look at the Turkey operation, we have a full-fledged digital bank called Sanim Banken. So in essence, you can go in and you can conduct all your operations, including opening your account, using that platform, which is part of the bank that we own there. If you go to Bahrain, which I think is the most progressive in terms of regulation within the GCC, they've allowed us to establish the first digital bank, literally. This new digital bank is basically something completely new. It is within the same bank, but it is targeted for the youth. In essence, you can actually open your account using your mobile app. So the bank strategy was built around mobile first, agility in terms of rolling out products, and making sure that those products are relevant to our customers there. So in essence, it is targeted towards getting youth customers into the bank. The surprising fact is we've seen significant growth in our deposits and account opening using that digital platform compared to the bricks and mortar setup that we have there. So these are the two examples that I can share with you that actually are working, and we are looking to hopefully replicate the same in the other jurisdictions that we operate in.
Thank you, Mr. Mazin. I believe Mr. Zhou can help you to convince regulators from Kuwait, and he's willing to help you to share his experience and operation experience to convince Chinese regulators. And I believe the business operation and experience of China can be beneficiary for you to convince the regulators from your jurisdiction. All right, Mr. Wang, I would like to propose a question to you because you represent a huge investor pool that represented China. So what is your investor approach or proposal, or what is your insight, or which area you're looking at, like blockchain or digital transformation or healthcare? Would you like to share your insight about this area? Or how can you propose, how can we bring the investors from Kuwait, GCC, and China together to co-explore some investment opportunities? Thank you, Mr. Wang.
现在呢，中关村呢和硅谷呢都是全球大家都知道的最著名的这种创新的高地。那么同时呢，现在整个新经济、新技术也带来了非常多的要求，新政府、新监管。那么“一带一路”呢，也给了应该说很多这种国家级的交流的平台。那么现在全球的经济肯定是说，一个是创新，一个是资本，一个是政府监管、政府支持。那么我们中关村股权投资协会呢，是一个中国全国性的，是一个非常大的一个围绕着创新和资本的一个行业组织。这里呢，既有一些风险投资机构，还有非常多的上市公司，那么还有一些创新性的银行。那么我们呢，跟国际的交流呢非常非常多。那么这次呢，我们通过这种进口博览会呢，这种中阿论坛呢，又跟阿拉伯这些地区呢，海湾地区呢，进行了友好的交流。那么我们看到呢，实际上我们有很多相近的方面，就是一个呢，就是现在阿拉伯国家这些地区呢，也非常有资本，能促使呢创新呢快速的实现，同时呢，也有很好的历史文化的渊源，和中国的文化非常相近。那么中国这种快速的创新发展的这种实践的经验呢，也可以很好的给这些阿拉伯的友好国家们一个很好的借鉴和很好的一种合作。那么中关村股权投资协会呢，正是这样一个很好的平台。你想去了解全球新的技术，我们就是一个全球技术最新的一个资源平台。你想了解全球最新的创业模式，中国的创新模式的所有的企业项目上市公司，基本上都在我们的平台上可以找到。那么你想在新的金融领域去合作，探讨新的数字金融、数字银行、区块链技术，那么我们这个平台又是你最好的一个合作的平台。那么所以我说呢，这个活动呢，这个论坛呢，真的是搭建了一个非常广的、非常好的一个创新和资本的平台。那么相信呢，中关村股权投资协会呢 （CVCA） 呢，会跟大家呢，通过今天这样一个开始，那么建立广泛、深度、长久利益的一个合作。好，谢谢。
Thanks, Mr. Wang, for your sharing about China's experience in terms of innovation, in terms of entrepreneurship, in terms of capital investment. And I believe our stakeholders from China and beyond would like to further explore opportunities with Mr. Wang. How do we bring something tangible, something concrete to bring all those visionary into reality? Last but not least, my next panelist is Mr. Firdaus. He's from AAA Finance. He's a leading financial institution from capital market. And Mr. Firdaus actually has a lot of cooperation with Chinese financial institution already. So Mr. Firdaus would like to further explore how that you are relevant to the Belt and Road initiatives, and what is how blockchain and all the artificial intelligence, big data can help the capital market of Bangladesh. Thank you, Mr. Firdaus.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity. As you mentioned that China is a very good partner of Bangladesh also, and I will say that not only partner, they are our big brother, and they have invested in our infrastructure for biggest mega project Podda Bridge. And recently, just last year, they have invested in our capital market, China Consortium, Shenzhen Stock Exchange, and Shanghai Stock Exchange. So already they have give us input for digitalizing our capital market. And Bangladesh is, as a developing country, our financial sector is not yet fully digitalized, but already automation started. And we think that in that initiative of China, and as they are contributing in our financial market, capital market, we are working together with Shenzhen and Shanghai Stock Exchange. So I think in near future we will be cope with the digitalization and the blockchain. Already our government, our Ministry of Finance already addressed this issue that we must have to introduce blockchain. So as we are a developing country and our GDP growth rate is consistent for last couple of years, so our government has highest priority to make digitalization, and we think blockchain will help us to to cope with the latest technology and shared future. Thank you.
Thanks, Barry Firdaus, for your introduction about the national strategy and policy from the government of Bangladesh. I believe there's a big future for the blockchain adoption in the jurisdiction of Bangladesh. So we still have a very little time. I would like to come to Mr. Cao. So because blockchain is always associated with, let me say, regulation concerns, regulation challenges, and it kind of makes the traditional financial institution irrelevant. And at the same time, it improves efficiency, transparency, and create trust, all this kind of thing. So what is the best approach for a traditional financial institution to adopt blockchain? Thank you.
I think the most important one is about the raising, how to raising your the rating. So if a high rating, triple A as a triple A bank, I think this bank there's no emergency need to use the blockchain. But if you are a triple B or double B or single B bank, how to raise your credit to the market, to your consumer customers? So when you use the blockchain, that means your information are very, very apparently, are very closed deeply to the market. For example, your investment pool. As a low rating bank, what kind of things you have invested in your investment pool is very, very important about the saver. A customer save money to your bank, to this bank, it must concern how long you will live. So that's depend on what kind of the bad loan ratio, what kind of your investment pool. So this kind of information, if can share with the market will much more. So this kind of technology is a technology to raise your the rating by the technology way, not by the human-made way. So I think that's the point.
Wow, thanks, Mr. So, for your practical advice for the financial institutions in terms how to embrace and adopt blockchain technologies, to utilize the best part of each, and to get rid of the negative side. So because of the limited time, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks very much, and thanks to all the panelists, because we cannot have a very profound discussion, and maybe tomorrow, because inshallah, because in the round discussion, we can have a profound discussion among all the topics in terms of blockchain, digital transformation, and how do we arrive to some sound conclusion, how to lead us to the forward. Thank you. Thanks very much. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
谢谢，谢谢参与对话的所有的中外专家，让我们一起合影留念。同时呢，也非常感谢在座各位的细心聆听。那接下来呢，我们将要进入的是本论坛的